Hi, my babies. Hi, my babies. Hi, and welcome back to another Motivational Monday. Happy Monday. Happy Monday, y'all. Today's Motivational Monday is grace. So, it was this particular scripture I was reading, and it was my first time actually reading it. God actually led me to it. And when I read the scripture, of course, like I was reflecting on it, this, that, and the third. But then I also ran into a situation while I was out coming back from the store today, and I ran into my next door neighbor, and that's my buddy, but he a little hot headed, and I be trying to keep him calm when I do. Like, I always try to feed him, and yeah, he was basically about to go handle some business. Somebody owed him something. Basically, if you understand, you understand. And I was trying to tell him, like, yo, enjoy your Sunday, ain't no need for all of that, this, that, and the third. This is the same neighbor that I made the message about basically yang energy, respecting yourself, and you don't have to put up with abuse. So it's like sometimes you gotta hit that brick wall, fall on your ass to learn your lesson. And I don't know, man. It's like I be trying to feed him, but you can't force nobody to eat, you know? You can't force nobody to eat. I'm like, bro, don't go do that. Because he was like, I'm about to go tighten him up, this, that, and the third. But he's talking about to go grill a nigga. That's what he said. And I'm like, yo, it's Sunday. It's a beautiful day. The sun is out. Like, yo, go back home. Enjoy your Sunday. I don't need for this, that, and the third. He was like, no, I'm about to go get my money. Da, da, da. I'm like, I ain't, yo, bet. I was like, I hope you enjoy your day, sweetheart. He was like, yeah, you too. This is the thing. God sent me as a warning to him to change his ways. Just like even with my day one. Like when my day one was around me, when he came home from doing a 4-year bid, his mama told me after he passed away, he was telling me like how he was excited that y'all had linked back up. He was like, yo, ma, she gonna keep me on track and she gonna make sure my head is straight. She gonna keep me focused. But when me and him separated from each other because of the people he was choosing to be around, I could not be around that type of energy because it was affecting how he was moving. And I couldn't be around it, so I fell back from him a little bit. And it's like God was giving him warnings, like change your ways, change your ways, change your ways. And I feel like it was the same thing with my neighbor. God was giving him a warning when we crossed paths today. Change your ways and I will spare you. So the scripture is about Hezekiah, and it says, in those days Hezekiah became mortally ill. He prayed to the Lord, who answered him by giving him a sign. Hezekiah, however, did not respond with like generosity, for he had become arrogant. Therefore wrath descended upon him and upon Judah and Jerusalem. But then Hezekiah humbled himself for his pride, both he and the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and therefore the wrath of the Lord did not come upon them during the time of Hezekiah. And it was because he changed his ways. It was because he changed his ways. I told you, God look at your heart posture. It was because he changed his ways. Even if you have a good heart, if you do not change your ways, though, that's where that grace kick in. When you change your ways, even when it's looking dark, that grace will kick in. And because Hezekiah changed his ways, they were spared from the wrath of God. They were given grace. Even if you mess up, God will still give you grace. Unlike man that keeps a record of everything, if you ask for forgiveness and you change your ways, God will give you grace. That burden will be lifted off of you. I'm going to read some more. Hold on. Hezekiah possessed very great wealth and glory. He made treasures for his silver, gold, precious stones, spices, jewels, and other precious things of all kinds. Also storehouses for the harvest of grain, for wine and oil, and barns for the various kinds of cattle and flocks. He built cities for himself, and he acquired sheep and oxen in great numbers, for God gave him very great riches. This same Hezekiah stopped the upper outlet for water from the Gihon and redirected it underground westward to the city of David. Hezekiah prospered in all his works. Nevertheless, in respect to the ambassadors of Babylonian officials who were sent to him to investigate the sign that had occurred in the land, God abandoned him as a test to know all that was in his heart. Sometimes we get caught up in We think, oh, well, I'm the one doing this and this, that, and the third. No, God gave you the blueprint. That's the reason why you're on that path. And people tend to get separated from God. People tend to get separated from having good character. People tend to get separated from having morals, being in tune and in touch with their morals, because they allow greed to get in the way. And I told y'all before, money is not the root of all evil. It's greed, because people want money, people want power, and when people get a taste of it, and when they're not connected to the divine, they turn into a monster. Basically, they turn into another type of person. They turn into a soul zombie, a spiritual zombie, yo. Like they the walking dead. It's greed, because once you get a taste of it, you want more. God told y'all, if they change money from paper and from digital and say, hey, all the acorns outside on the ground is now considered currency, everybody gonna be outside looking for acorns. It's greed that's the root of all evil. This is some of y'all wake up call. Get back in tune. God is giving you another chance. God spared you from a particular situation. Yes, be grateful, but don't go around walking around with your chest poked out and with a chip on your shoulder. No, you got spared for a reason. God needs you to get to work. God gave you a test for a testimony. It says in the scripture, it says God abandoned him as a test to know all that was in his heart, meaning God is going to test you, but God ain't going to leave you in that storm. God's going to give you grace. Some of y'all been in a situation where your back been up against the wall and you don't know what to do. You can't see a way out, baby. They said that light is coming at the end of the tunnel for you. That silver lining is coming. Just hold on a little longer. They're saying you're coming to your grace period. Some of y'all, they saying you coming into your grace period. You've been doing the right thing. You've been having an upright heart. You've been moving righteously. But they're saying some of y'all, you need to work on your heart posture. You need to work on your heart posture. But to the people, they saying they got their back against the wall. They said God did not abandon you. God did not abandon you. It was just a test of your character to see how you going to handle these blessings that's coming in. Because, baby, when I say they pouring in, and I'm hearing he got the whole world in his hands, they're saying, baby, stop forgetting that grace exists. If God is giving you grace and we are made in God's image, give your fellow man grace even when they don't deserve it, so you don't walk around carrying those burdens energetically and in your soul. And also give yourself grace. Because maybe you didn't know better back then. Or maybe you was, emotionally tied up in something, or mentally tied up in something, or just out of yourself, or whatever the case may be. But you know better now. So what matters is how you move forward, baby. Because you can't go back and rewrite old pages, but you could start a new story, though. You could start a new chapter, though. This is the grace period. Have grace with yourself. Give grace to others. And remember, God gives grace as well. Be grateful for it. Be grateful for it, because it didn't have to be granted to us. Stop taking a disadvantage of each day, the blessings that you have, the talents that you have, and opportunities. Be grateful for all that you have. Like I tell y'all, what? An attitude of gratitude brings more blessings. I said, think about it. I'm the Virgo Garden, and this is Motivational Monday. Enjoy your Monday, babies. Mwah.